service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Find the full AccuWeather forecast right across the top of every CNC local news page. Wegmans goes before the Grease Planning Board at 7 o'clock Wednesday evening, seeking approval for plans to expand its Mount Read Boulevard Plaza. Wegmans has contracts to buy the two houses just north of its parking lot. It plans to demolish those and put in a 15,000 square foot retail building that it will lease to an as yet undetermined customer. It also wants to move the main entrance of the plaza and the traffic signal north to that area. The board's also looking at plans for a Dairy Queen at the old Dewey and Britton Wegmans site on Dewey Avenue. A head-on crash in the town of Parma sent 4 people to Strong Memorial Hospital Tuesday afternoon. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says this happened on West Ridge Road between Trimmer and Hinkleyville Roads. 39-year-old Diane Garreau was heading west on Ridge Road when her minivan somehow drifted across the center line. It went head-on into an eastbound car driven by 31-year-old Vladislav Demidjuk. Both drivers were trapped in the wrecked vehicles. Spencerport firefighters had to extricate them. Garreau is in guarded condition at Strong. Her 13-year-old son suffered only minor injuries. Demidjuk is in satisfactory condition also at Strong. His passenger, 45-year-old Michael Nicholas, also suffered minor injuries. The accident remains under investigation and no tickets have been written so far. The crime still remains unsolved, but authorities now know what happened to at least one of the guns stolen last fall from a Wayne County gun shop. The U.S. Attorney for Western New York says 23-year-old Luis Guzman of Rochester tried to sell heroin and firearms to undercover officers from the Rochester Police and from the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. One of those guns was stolen in November from Tom's Guns and Ammo in Sodas. A number of guns were stolen in that break-in. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jennifer Noto says the undercover buys were made in December and January. Guzman is charged with distribution of heroin and possession of a firearm in furtherance of a drug crime. That carries a maximum penalty of life in prison. An Ontario County grand jury has indicted a Palmyra couple on arson, insurance fraud, and grand larceny charges. Stephen and Melissa Eagley, who are both in their 30s, were arraigned on those charges Tuesday. They stem from fires in May of 2010 and October of 2011. Stephen Eagley is charged with insurance fraud, grand larceny, forgery, and official misconduct. His wife with arson, insurance fraud, and grand larceny. Melissa Eagley is an elementary school special ed teacher with the Phelps-Clifton Springs School District. She has been placed on a non-teaching assignment, although the district says there's no sign inappropriate behavior took place on school grounds. Federal budget sequestration has sunk plans for the 2013 Greater Rochester International Airport Air Show. The mandatory defense spending cuts required by the sequestration law forced the Defense Department to end all military participation in civilian air shows, effective immediately. The air show promoter announced on its website that without flyovers, jump team demonstrations, military aircraft on display, they just can't go forward with the annual air show. Whether there can be an air show this year remains an open question. It depends on funding being restored. Gatestown Supervisor Mark Assini says he has offered his town as the site for a new Seneca Indian casino. Assini has proposed to the Seneca Indian Nation that the new casino be built in the Rochester Tech Park, the former Kodak Elm Grove facility on Elm Grove Road near 531. Assini says the site is bigger than the Seneca Niagara Casino in Niagara Falls, and it has direct expressway access, even its own exit. He says the Senecas have expressed some interest. A new Seneca gaming facility depends on a couple of things. The main issue is to resolve the ongoing tax dispute between New York State and the Seneca Nation. The Senecas refuse to collect state sales tax at their reservation stores, and state approval of a new casino compact isn't likely until that issue is settled. The second issue is Governor Cuomo's plan to legalize casino gambling for non-Indian properties in New York. That would require changes to the state constitution, but if it goes forward, it would reduce interest in another Seneca casino. Governor Andrew Cuomo did finally make it to Rochester and Buffalo for a ceremonial signing of the new state budget on Tuesday. A grinning Cuomo held up a hockey puck and proclaimed a hat trick, 3 on-time budgets in a row after 30 years of annual spring deadlocks. The governor said that's important because it is arrogant of government not to meet its own deadlines.
Because in everybody else's life, you have to meet a deadline. You're supposed to pay taxes by April 15th. You can't just forget to pay taxes, Everyone else has to live within rules. Only government didn't have to live within rules.
Cuomo said this budget is about family and jobs. He also noted that the last time New York passed 3 on-time budgets in a row, the governor was his father, Mario Cuomo. To the left of the player window are links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links you can use to post news and information directly to us. Share what you know, your cell phone videos that you've captured. We're interested in all of that. Next news is as it happens, updates are as necessary, and you can help us be the judge of that. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.